Okay, we're back, and we're gonna do some patty driving. We're gonna drive some hamburgers. I haven't had a hamburger in weeks. Months, probably. Hamburgers are not a thing we really typically make unless it's... Oh. God. I immediately did that. Anyway, I don't make hamburgers in my family unless it's, like, summer because there's no barbecue. So, I mean, that makes sense. We can't really go outside when it's negative 30 and worse with wind chill because wind chill is the bane of everyone's existence around here. I wanted to talk about TV shows because I've been watching a lot of TV shows when I have the time. I went over some spikes. I shouldn't do that. I watched through Twin Peaks over the course of December because, I don't know, it was going to run out over the New Year, so I might as well catch as much as it as I can. Can't talk before it actually goes away. I wanted to watch Farscape, but it like also left the Netflix like at some point, so I couldn't end up watching Farscape, which is a sci-fi TV show. I also watched Death Note because my friends are... Jesus Christ, I missed that. My friends are doing a Death Note abridged, and they wanted me to help, or no, like voice a couple characters. So I watched the whole series, which isn't that long. It's like 35 episodes or so, and very, very good. I mean, sort of spoilers. Just skip ahead like 30 seconds or so if you don't want to hear this. Basically, it's the anime Breaking Bad before Breaking Bad. A lot of similarities between the story, and I don't think that's exactly groundbreaking to say. I liked how it ended, though. Yeah, it resolves pretty well. Other things I've watched. Yeah, I'm gonna turn here. What did I watch? My dad and I are trying to get through The Walking Dead. Walking Dead, I feel like it's gotten better over the past 2 seasons. They got rid of a few characters that were kind of completely dumb and terrible, and I think they just screwed a lot of things up because they don't know how to write. But overall, the last 2 seasons have been pretty good. I really like where they went with a few things. My dad and I are waiting for Game of Thrones to come back on in when's it come out? It comes out, like, new season's out in April, but like, I want to get the DVD, which should be out next month, February, I think. So I'm excited for that because my dad, I don't know if a lot of people, like, he knows, watches it, but I know, like, he was interested in watching it because we're both fans of Lord of the Rings, and can I make this? Yes, I can. Oh my god! Damn! I can't, I'm really mad right now. We're both fans of Lord of the Rings, and, I don't know, it was sort of the thing that he likes. He does, I don't know why I have this perception of my dad that I have to keep reminding him of all the character names, but he actually does, like, remember them, and I'm like, you know this character's name? He's like, Kevin, I know, just don't patronize me. And, one thing you might not know about my dad is he restores pinball machines. We have 6. We own 6 pinball machines because we're kind of weird. My dad just got really into them. He's a mechanical engineer. Both my parents are, but he restores pinball machines. He goes and, like, does all the circuits. He paints them fresh. He, like, gets new parts for them, and he just makes them work. And he also plays a lot. He's convinced that he has the world high score on a game called Embryon, which was the first pinball machine to introduce multi-ball. And he has no way of confirming that, but he is dead set on that. So, okay, whatever floats your boat, Dad. Okay. But, we have a game called High Speed, which is probably my favorite of the ones we have. It's like a car chase themed one where you go on highways and you have to light up traffic lights and get away. It's really cool. It has 3 flippers, lots of multi-ball. Can I make this? I want to make this one. Dear God, we're speeding through this one. Okay, we're back, and we made this one, I think. Yeah, okay, we're good. I don't know how to video game. I'm a scrub. But anyway, I was talking about pinball machines, I think. Basically, if you come to my house on a weekday, you will hear my dad just, like, working on pinball machines. I have it, like, the words memorized for a game called Cue Ball Wizard, which is basically like, it's a cowboy-themed, like, pool billiard style game. So, I know, like, quit talking and start shocking. That is a legitimate thing that I hear, like, dozens of times a night, so yeah, that's my life. My life is video games and, like, cowboys. And we're moving on to first boss fight. I do think that this boss fight is kind of okay. Not one way or the other. It's easy. It's like, it's massive, which is interesting, but otherwise, they didn't really do much interesting with it. Those three, like, little notches in the health bar, that's what those are gonna indicate, oh, I'm supposed to hit him, aren't I? Damn it. Those are gonna indicate, forms of the boss, which aren't overly complex. In terms of bosses, if I'm comparing bosses to, like from this game to Battle for Bikini Bottom, I think Battle Bottom wins out because one of the bosses later on, I killed him in 10 seconds. It was not very hard, and I just like kept spamming the same attack. Clearly, there were a few design problems. Should I get away from that? Yes, I should. There are a few design problems that they didn't really iron out. There we go. Yeah, this is going to take a while. Die. 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 Die, Grandma. By the way, Grandma, I don't mean you. My grandma doesn't watch this, but in case she needed clarification, I don't mean you, Grandma. I don't even call my grandma Grandma, so let's just all, like, resolve to the fact that that whole last, like, couple 30 seconds, none of what I said made sense. Ugh. See, you know what I said when doing a Let's Play on your own? You can say literally anything, and if you can keep saying it at the same pace, you're doing fine, but it might not make sense. So, I would rate my performance 3 out of 10. I'm harsh on myself. We're mostly just trying to get through this boss fight because it's not really interesting. There's not much to do. I have been holding the X button the whole fight. I'm fighting a grandma who like has a gigantic ice cream cone, so I just want you guys to like be aware of that and reflect on that and reflect on your life. Because I may be the one fighting it, but you were the guys watching me fight it. So think about that. Like think about your life for a second. Actually, I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support you give me. But, I had ice cream later. I had birthday cake ice cream, and it was actually, like, excellent. Like, usually ice cream flavors that are, like, overly special or, like, super, like colorful, like, fruity, like, whatever. They're, like, I don't like them. I prefer the simple stuff. But this one was, like, it had actual birthday cake. Like, it had a cake substance in it. And it had, like, Smarties. And it was excellent, so if you ever see it in the store, it's probably not the same brand, but if you want it, go and give it a try. And that is the end of this level. This is going... we'll probably do the next sliding level to finish off this episode. Get that done. Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Spongebob movie, which looks excellent in my opinion? I know that, I shouldn't get my hopes up, but, I mean, Steven Hillenburg, he's coming back to direct it, and I know that one person is probably not the reason the show used to be so good, but I have a good feeling about this, and he's also coming back to direct the show, and I hope he gives the show, like, the send-off it deserves, because it really deserves to end on a high note, and I know Season 9, which was shorter, like, overall ended up being better than some of the earlier seasons, just because it was more focused, less episodes to crank out. So I'm just excited that it might end up having SpongeBob a good send-off. And I dislike the fact that Netflix only has the seasons after season 3, which, like, obviously those are the ones that anyone wants to watch, seasons 1 to 3, so why aren't you on there? Ugh. Oh, by the way, this is the area of the game that I used for my Flare vs. Function video, which looking back on it, I think that is my favorite out of the map screen videos. And I know I say that, like, each of them got better. Like, progressively, that would be the order I rank them. It was usually a toss-up between difficulty and Flare versus Function for me, but I sort of resolved that, although, like, I'll go off the list and, like, the traits of each. So, replaying games, the script is too long and, like, not focused, and the drawings are bad, and the voicing is bad. All of it, it's, like, it's a good start, but, oh god, I don't want to rewatch that or be represented by that in any way. Killing in games, the drawings are very good. I do like the script. It's not, like, trying to argue a point, but it's just saying, here's an analysis or look at, like, what killing means in different games, which I still like. I do want to redo it at some point. Difficulty, I like the concept. I could have, like, articulated it a bit better, because the concept in my head, like, it is solid. Like, it makes sense to me, but I feel like I could have gone in a bit more depth to make it understandable to more people. And the drawings, like, I'm realizing when I rewatch it that I just misled, like, the metaphor that I was going for multiple times, because, like, I just drew something that, like, looked nice, but it didn't really communicate what I was saying. Like, it had a different meaning, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm sort of dissatisfied with it as a whole. But Flare versus Function, it's not really trying to make a point, but it does, like, give a good argument as, like, here are some techniques that people use to make a game look more interesting, but also still give the player control. And I do think that overall that is my favorite one. Did I go around in a circle? Did I? I think I did. But overall, the drawings are good, the cinematics, the game footage worked well, and I just like it more than any of the other ones. I don't think map screen's really going to return anytime soon, because they take a while and they're obviously not overly popular, and I just don't really have... I have one script about currency in games, which is basically just like a look at how currency can be screwed up and, like, made worthless in some games, and I do think it was more of just, like, listing off a ton of games, which doesn't make a good script. It was sort of too much like the Replaying Games episode, and it might eventually make it into something, I don't know. I might just talk about, like, those specific games later, but yeah, that's the deal with map screen. Broccoli Talk, of course, I want to get back, but I know my friends. I have one plan for a Metal Gear Solid. Let's upgrade. No one can really do anything yet. I'm gonna wait, because I might get, like, some upgrades that I want to upgrade later. They'll be more helpful in closer sections, like the throw one. But anyways, my friends, I have a Metal Gear Solid 3 one planned with my friend Ben. I have a Little Big Planet 2 one planned with Ben. I have The Last of Us to do with Charlie. My friend Matt was going to do Metroid Prime Trilogy, but he's sort of busy and doesn't really have time to play it. He also lent me Spore, so Spore might be one that we do eventually. But that's it. Yeah, that's it for Broccoli Talk right now. I have, like, a lot of plans for doing footage and stuff across the up in, like, a week in February, because that's when I have a week off school, so that's going to be cool. Can I make this? Yes, I can. I want to get more Nitrous Turtle stuff done. I just want to be productive. I want to get school stuff done, but I also want to make sure I'm still doing stuff for my channels, because it's a fun thing to do. I know a lot of people... Oh my god. Please let me survive this. I know a lot of people do it, but I'm thinking of the whole situation as, will I be proud to show my kids this sort of thing, like, years from now, and just, like, this is my thoughts on a game, this is why I'm going to force you to play, and they're like, okay, Dad. And that's going to be exactly how that conversation goes. And if you don't notice, this is like a section of a tongue we're on right now, which is disgusting, but also kind of cool. And these guys are just chilling out in this ramp, and we're destroying their skulls because they died. I don't know, overall, this is probably... My favorite sliding section in the game is probably going to come later, but this is probably my second favorite, just as a lot of complexity. It looks cool, there's lots of cool visuals, and it's fairly challenging. I know that the ring challenges are a total pain later on, and I'm not looking forward to doing those, but we might have to end up doing them. I'm going to look at my file that I played, like, recently over the summer to see which ones I got there, just so I know which ones are easier. I know the guitar challenges. I might, like, literally spend an episode just doing those, because those took a while, just steering that thing. And I think they would be a cool challenge if they actually, like, showed you the ring that you're supposed to get after the one, like, you're about to get. Like, that one improvement would fix, like, all my problems with that section. Because it's a solid concept. It's one that's used in a lot of, like, sliding and, like, skateboarding games like this. But it's just... like, that's the one thing that you cannot do, just, like, make people guess. Leaps of faith in any platforming game. Ugh. So, let's talk a little bit about, like, other things I got for Christmas. I got a ton of books. If it wasn't video games, I got books. I got Watchmen, which is an excellent graphic novel by Alan Moore, which is, like, universally praised. I don't think I need to tell you anything about it. I got... what's his name? I don't remember his name, but basically it's a guy who wrote a book called Making Comics, which is, like, I knew a lot of the stuff that it talked about in the book, but the way he presented all the information was so good, and I just love the way he writes, and I love that book, and his earlier book about, like, understanding comics and just, like, the storytelling techniques. It was really good. Scott McCloud's his name. He wrote it. I also got Mouse, which is the Holocaust memoir by, Art Spiegelman, and it's an excellent book, obviously. I got a lot of books that I know about, but I had never read before. I got Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of the Universe, and I got Bill Nye's new book because I was interested in seeing like what Bill Nye's writing style is compared to like what he presents on his kids show. And it is very interesting to see his style, and he talked about his like creationist debate he had with that man. There's something like is that a phone? I think I'm getting like text messages. I'm gonna check that later. Oh, sorry, I know what that is. Yeah, never mind. So I think we're going to end it here, and I'll come back right next. Is he gonna give me? Damn it! This is one. Ugh. Okay, we'll be back. I'll get more Goober tokens, and I'll be back, and we'll go on and do some Spongebob. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and I will be back soon.